claimed more than 1,800 U.S. servicemen and women. One mother who lost her son in Iraq is protesting outside of the president's ranch in Crawford, Texas. Cindy Sheehan's son Casey was killed in Baghdad's Sadr City in April 2004. She's a founder of Gold Star Families, joining us now live from Crawford, Texas. Our deepest condolences to you, Cindy Sheehan, on the loss of your son. Talk a little bit about Casey and the circumstances surrounding his death.
Casey was a very amazing, indispensable part of my family. He got to Sadr City, Baghdad, we think about 5 days before he was killed. The command changed at 6 p.m. on April 4th, 2004. By 6:54, Casey had been killed in an ambush. And
he was in the Army. His rank?
He was an Army specialist.
How long had he been in Iraq to begin with?
He had, from what we understand, he had only been in Iraq about 5 days. He was in Kuwait for a couple of weeks before they deployed to Iraq. I only heard from him once when he was in Kuwait. I didn't hear from him again. That's the last time I spoke to him.
Was he on board when he went there? In other words, was he fully committed to this war?
He was not committed to the war at all. He was committed to his buddies. I begged him not to go because my family knew that the war was wrong. And he said, "Mom, I have to go because my buddies are going, and if I don't go, someone else will have to do my job."
All right, so tell us a little bit about what you're doing now. You had a chance to meet with the president, we're told, last summer. Is that right?
I met with him, I think, about June 17th last year. It was about 2.5 months after Casey had died.
Was that a private meeting, just you and the president?
It was me and my family, my other 3 children, and my husband.
What did you say to him?
We met with about 15 other families were there also, but we got to. He came in individually and met with each one of us individually.
So what did you say to him then?
There was a lot of things said. We wanted to use the time for him to know that he killed an indispensable part of our family and humanity. And we wanted him to look at the pictures of Casey. He wouldn't look at the pictures of Casey. He didn't even know Casey's name. He came in the room, and the very first thing he said is, "So who are we honoring here?" He didn't even know Casey's name. He didn't want to hear it. He didn't want to hear anything about Casey. He wouldn't even call him him or he. He called him your loved one. And every time we tried to talk about Casey and how much we missed him, he would change the subject. And he acted like it was a party.
Like a party? I mean...
Yeah, he came in very jovial and like we should be, happy that our son died for his misguided policies.
So now you've been...
pretend like somebody.
So now you're trying to meet with him again. What's the point? What are you trying to achieve?
This week we had a terrible loss of life in Iraq. Everybody knows about the National Guard unit of Marines from Ohio, and that enough saddened me and broke my heart because I know what those families are going through. And it also broke my heart because I've been working very hard for a year to end the war in Iraq, and every day that another soldier or another Iraqi person gets killed just rips my heart open. But then George Bush, in a luncheon he was giving a talk at or something, he said that the families can rest assured that their children died for a noble cause. And he also said that we have to honor the sacrifices of the fallen soldiers by continuing the mission, by staying the mission in Iraq. And I have said this so many times. I do not want him to use my son's name to continue the killing. It's bad enough that my son is dead, and I'm a mother whose heart was ripped out on April 4th, 2004. Why would I want one more mother, either Iraqi or American, to go through what I'm going through? I don't want him to justify my son's honorable sacrifice to continue his murderous killing policies.
The president did allow his national security advisor, Stephen Hadley, and other top White House aide to go out yesterday where you are outside the ranch in Crawford, Texas, and meet with you. How did that meeting go?
Well, they were very respectful, and I don't think the White House even knew they ever met with me until I told Joe Hagan that I had already met with the president, because Joe Hagan, the Deputy Chief of Staff, said that I can tell you the president really cares, and I said, you can't tell me that because I've met with him and I know that he doesn't care. And I told them that I feel that my son didn't die for a noble cause, and they told me the party line of why we are in Iraq, and I don't believe that. And I told them that I don't believe that they believed that. And I said, just because I'm a grieving mother doesn't mean I'm stupid. I'm very well informed of the facts that are going on here. And they said, okay, we'll convey your concerns to the president.
Well, our condolences to you, Cindy
Thank
Sheehan.
you.
You've got a tough struggle. It's never going to end, I'm sure, but we appreciate your spending a few moments with us. Cindy Sheehan, whose son was killed in Sadr City in Iraq a year ago. I want to just read the statement the White House released yesterday. On behalf of the president, many of the hundreds of families the president has met with know their loved one died for a noble cause, and that the best way to honor their sacrifice is to complete the mission. The White House statement goes on to say it is a message the president has heard time and again from those he has met with and comforted. Like all Americans, President Bush wants the troops home as soon as possible, but the U.S. will not cut and run from terrorists. That's the statement from the White House. Cindy Sheehan, again, thank you very much. Joining us here in Washington now to continue our conversation on the U.S. military presence in Iraq, what's going on.